you see what we're doing here. We've got limited resources, and in this case it was dialysis. All right, that's not as much of an issue now, obviously, as for example, organ donors, you know, things like that, transplants. You got people that are waiting. I've had the privilege of having some people with a lot of nursing experience, and I've learned some things that, you know, there's some people that aren't even eligible for transplants. Like if you've had certain diseases, STDs, things like that, you don't even get on the list because you're less likely to take it for the organ to take because of the medications that they give and stuff. So it was interesting. I was sort of shocked to find out. I was like, wow. So you know, person's you know, experiences in the past or misfortunes or whatever can impact whether or not they're even eligible for transplants. You know, but back then in the 1960s, the issue was the dialysis that we looked at here. Now, what's the most? I mean, really, which is the? If you've got a guy. Let's say you've got, you know, 3 people. You've got that are eligible for a heart transplant, and the heart, you know, all this scenario is basically that it would work possibly for all 3 of them. You've got 1 heart, you've got 3 people. Somebody's going to live, 2 people are going to die. I mean, you know, unless another heart comes up tomorrow or something. Let's say, basically, in your mind, as far as you know, you got 3 people that are in that critical situation that if they don't get a heart within a very short amount of time, they're going to die. You got 1 heart that came in. Well, what do you do to decide who? You know, you got one is a 70-year-old man who has, you know, born children. He's lived a full life. He's wealthy. He can afford to pay for it. There's a key there I want you to think about. He can afford to pay for it. He's wealthy. He's got money. And he has done a lot for society. He was a war veteran. He was, I'm talking to this guy, whoever he is, up, all right? He's Mr. G.I. Joe and, you know, who wants to be a billionaire all rolled into one, all right? Okay, so you got this guy. He's 70 years old, all right? Now you've got somebody in their mid-30s, young children, done okay in life, hadn't, you know, done too many things wrong, really can't afford it. His insurance is going to pay for part of it, but he can't really afford it. He's going to end up paying for the rest of his life on this thing. The doctor's never going to see all his money out of it. Whatever, all right? He can't really fully afford it. Now you got this kid, 10-year-old kid. He can take the heart. That's perhaps not quite as realistic a scenario being so young, but 12-year-old kid, whatever. 12-year-old kid can take the heart. Comes from a poor family. He'll never be able to afford it. His family, you know, they'll have to, you know, use Medicaid, which is, you know, federal money, federal insurance plan. Basically, they're going to have to, you know, file for Medicaid, that kind of thing. They can't afford it. But the kid, you know, he hasn't had a chance to do anything in life. He's 12 years old, right? What's he been able to do in life? He's just a kid. Okay, it's just a typical kid. Who gets the heart?
I'll say, I feel bad, but I'll say the second person, because they have children too.
He has children to raise.
Yeah,
okay.
So,
okay. So you're looking at the family situation. Yeah, that's why I threw that out there. He's got, you know, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old at home. He's trying to, and they're just trying to get by in life, you know.
Does that mean have a wife?
Yeah, he's got a wife. You know, he's got a wife, so she could.
I would say,
yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I know, and also wouldn't go with the second one also because he's got children. You know, I couldn't imagine being children that age losing their father, but if they did, you know, everyone does get 2 parents, absolutely. But you know, I would definitely say 2, but I'm going to go with 1 because he's a kid. He hasn't got to experience life. He hasn't got to make it to the 70-year-old wealthy